Walking across the bridge, brothers and sisters, we're taking the same march that our ancestors took over 50 years ago, fighting for justice and liberty. Edmund Pettus Bridge, March 7th, 1965. Y'all know the story. You've seen the movie Selma. This is where we are. Our brothers and sisters got to the other end of the bridge. The police attacked them. You can watch it on YouTube, all the videos you would like. So we here checking it out, checking out the history. Powerful place to be, y'all. Powerful place to be. You good, Gail? You know what? That had to have been a scary sight, because what if them cops would have came and pushed them over? You know what I mean? I'm like, I mean, they was in the middle of the street, I'm assuming, but that was still dangerous. Selma, Alabama. The lecture going down tomorrow, 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock at the Selma Center for Truth, Reconciliation, and Nonviolence, 8 Mulberry Road. Next Saturday, Atlanta, Georgia. Next Saturday, Atlanta, Georgia. Omanola Afrocentric Museum, 4 o'clock. That's Sunday, June 2nd in Atlanta. Then the following weekend, June 8th and 9th, NIBPA training, Wilmington, Delaware. July the 6th, Charlotte, North Carolina. June 30th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. August 30th, Jacksonville, Florida. August 31st, Orlando, Florida. November 2nd, Tulsa, Oklahoma. November 3rd, Oklahoma City. Hempstead, New York, July the 14th. Ghana, July 25th to August the 4th. Make sure y'all get that music in for the shockumentaries. Get that music in for the shockumentary. Deadline June 1st for the shockumentary. Deadline June 1st to register for Africa. Deadline June 1st for something else. Africa, the shockumentary. I'm forgetting my own deadlines, but this is the Prince. We in Selma, studying some of the history of our ancestors. A lot of people got hurt, a lot of people died for us to get to where we are now. We can't forget that. And we can't organize our people on YouTube. Sitting on YouTube making videos, that is not sacrifice. Sitting on YouTube making videos, that is not sacrifice. I'm gonna do a special Black Parent teleconference tomorrow, live from Selma. Special Black Parent teleconference tomorrow morning, live from Selma, 8 to 10 a.m. Chicago, September 1st at the African Arts Fest out in the park. Chicago, September 1st at the African Arts Fest out in the park. Our ancestors marched from Selma to Montgomery 65 years ago. builders of movements and monuments, presented by the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Women, Women's Organizational Movement for Equality, the Voting Rights Bridge Crossing, Selma to Montgomery, Dr. Joseph Lowry, co-founder with Dr. King of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, served as national president, chosen by Dr. King to chair the delegation delivering the demands of the Selma to Montgomery March to the governor, awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2009 by President Barack Obama, America's highest civilian honor. Dr. Evelyn Lowry, founder and chair of the SCLC Women's Organizational Movement for Equality, founder of the Evelyn Gibson Lowry Civil Rights Heritage Tour, placing 13 monuments throughout the state of Alabama. Nothing on the back. Yeah. Reverend Hosea Williams Sr., leader of the Selma Montgomery March, Bloody Sunday, March the 7th, 1965.
Now, this is about Bloody Sunday right here. You would think that the town would be so beautiful with all this beauty.
John Lewis, who's still alive.
Yeah,
I met him at the Atlanta airport.
Talking over my camera. Watch out, brother.
Sorry about that. Amelia Boynton Robinson and Marie Foster. There's a real good book called The Black Women Behind the Civil Rights Movement. Y'all want to read it. It talks about all the black women who helped, who basically made the march successful and the whole movement, and they don't get a lot of credit. So you want to read that book.
Where y'all from?
Different places. Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia.
Jersey.
Where you at?
Memphis.
Oh man, Memphis, Tennessee. All right. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mary. How you doing, beautiful?
The jail in Selma was a repeated site of racial terror. Violence devastated the African community. February 1892, police arrested Willie Webb in Waynesville, moved him to the jail in Selma under the threat that local whites planned to lynch him. Hours after Mr. Webb arrived in Selma before he could stand trial, a well-armed lynch mob kidnapped him from the jail and killed him. The next year, June 1893, a lynch mob seized another black man, Daniel Edwards, from the Selma jail, hanged him from a tree, riddled his body with bullets. Mr. Edwards' corpse was left hanging with a note pinned to his back, warning to all black men that are too intimate with white girls. This is the work of 100 best citizens of the South Side. Racial terror lynchings continued in Selma well into the 20th century. On July 11th, 1935, Joe Johnson was called from his work as a sharecropper, delivered directly into the hands of a white mob that bound him and beat him mercilessly. The mob then took Mr. Johnson to the jail in Selma, where witnesses heard him beaten while screaming. Several days later, Mr. Johnson's mutilated body was found in a field near Greensboro. A leader of the Alabama Sharecroppers Union that operated from 1931 to 1936 to help sharecroppers receive better wages and treatment and to reduce inequality in Alabama's Black Belt. Mr. Johnson challenged the exploitative and racially discriminatory practices of wealthy white planters and landowners. For that, he was targeted and lynched. These lynchings were terrorist acts committed with the involvement and complicity of law enforcement officers, and they commonly went unpunished. Racial terror lynches in Selma created trauma and misery while reinforcing white supremacy and denying black people the basic rights of citizenship.
This is kind of a memorial
Right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a few more minutes so they can finish looking.
5 minutes.
All right.
Got another group coming behind me.
All right. 5 minutes, y'all. We got to roll.
So what are we doing, Ed?
I didn't even know that was Sabrina. I didn't even know that was you. I'm just, I see.
Can I get a picture with you? Oh, you filming?
Yeah, but it's cool.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, y'all. We going to, oh, they went down. Sabrina, let them know we about to cross the street. Jimmy Lee Jackson. You saw the movie Selma, this the brother that was murdered, Jimmy Lee Jackson. You saw the movie Selma, this the brother that was murdered, Jimmy Lee Jackson. Good. No problem. What's that name, good brother?
Sam Walker.
Dr. Umar. All right.